Welcome to St. Louis Cardinal baseball on Fox Sports Midwest. The Cardinals 8-3, red hot in the early going, looking to win another series with a victory tonight. Last night's hero, Matt Carpenter, came up in extra innings with the bases loaded.
Game on the line here. Line drive to right field. Jay Bruce catches it. Strong arm throw to the plate, and he is safe at the plate, and the Cardinals win it.
Rick Horton with Al Roboski. Glad you're with us. It was an exciting victory in Game 1 for St. Louis in extra innings. And Al Roboski, did we find out something about this club here last night?
Well, they persevered. You know, they wasted a great performance by Kyle Loesch. They stranded 12 runners through 9 innings. They were 0 for 9 on the night with runners in scoring position, but Matt Carpenter came through for the second consecutive day. He is the hero of the Cardinals.
And he's been the hero quite often. 11 RBIs, not only the league leader, but he's blowing away everybody else. Shane Robinson has 5.
Well, he's doing a tremendous job amongst National League rookies, but if you really look at it, he's holding his own and doing very well with the National League leaders in RBIs. So a great start for Matt Carpenter.
Pitching has been very important for the Cardinals. Their starting pitching's been good. They're going to face Matt Latos for Cincinnati. They'll counter with Jaime Garcia. We'll take a look at how they pitched here at Busch Stadium when we come back.
Now at Dobbs, save $75.
Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Smooth Busch Beer and easy drinking Busch Light. By your Mid-America Chevy dealers, the #1 selling brand in St. Louis. Find us at stlchevy.com. By Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers, #1 for quality tires and expert auto service. And by Steak and Shake, just no equal. Cardinal starter tonight, Jaime Garcia, the left-hander, 13 wins in each of his first 2 seasons in the big leagues. And Al Roboski's been very good here at Busch Stadium.
Definitely. His first 2 starts been on the road, including the last one in Cincinnati, where he gave up 11, hits. But he really did contain the offense with just 3 runs. But here at home, it's a different story. He is a much, much better pitcher. This is a big, spacious ballpark, tailor-made for a left-handed starter.
And Garcia got a lot of experience last year in October. Didn't pick up a lot of victories, but had a lot of very well-pitched games. There's the 0-1 record, Al, but the ERA at 2.49. And clearly, these are all big, big games and a part of his maturity.
He had 3.5 to strikeout to walk ratio. And as you said, he kind of tailed off, maybe tired a little bit in the regular season, but he was ready for the assignment in postseason, and like you said, just so valuable, that experience.
Pitched well against the Cincinnati Reds. Zach Cozart, the rookie, leads off. Drew Stubbs, one of the few Reds that has hit him well, followed by Votto, Phillips, Bruce, Roland, Chris Heisey, Mesoraco, and Matt Latos, the pitcher, here tonight. Game 2 of a 3-game series, just about underway. Glad you're with us. Garcia has his sign, and he misses away. First pitch at 7:15.
Hey, you want to throw strikes and you want to keep it down. It's so simplistic, but when he keeps the ball down, Jaime Garcia, everything runs, has tremendous movement, and he starts out 3-0 here. This Wednesday at Cincinnati, he went 4 2/3, 11 hits, but just 3 runs.
Garcia not able to make that adjustment, and he walks Cozart on 4 pitches. And he's going to need some help from the defense behind him. And let's take a look at the Dobbs Cardinals defense. Holiday, Jay, and Beltran. The outfielders, Freeze, Furcal, Green, and Berkman. On the infield, Tyler Green getting the start here tonight, and Molina and Garcia, the battery. Mike Matheny off to an 8-3 start, flashing the signs. Had a chance to hear Mike Matheny talk about his club here this afternoon, and I loved his use of pronouns. He kept saying We've got a lot of work to do, but they're really doing a good job. Giving the credit to the players.
That's where it belongs, doesn't it? You know, Bob Gibson was the first to tell a very true statement when he said managers and coaches get way too much credit when a team wins and way too much blame when a team loses.
Garcia misses 1-1, and Bob Gibson, not the kind of guy you want to argue with.
Tells it like it is.
He sure does.
I know. Young players love to see that Bob and Lou and Red, everybody in spring training. It was great to see Ozzie down there in spring this year. Along with a few other guest, you know, former players that not Hall of Famers, but you know,
Jim Edmonds. I think Jimmy really enjoyed his time, and there's a role for Jim Edmonds and others to go down there and help out with those minor leaguers. High strike. Drew Stubbs 6 for 20 against Jaime Garcia. Our Chevy Fox Tracks. Is it a strike? Right at the top of the strike zone, but you know, the strike zone, what is it today? I mean, there he catches it belt high, and it's at the top of the Fox Track strike zone. Garcia trying to figure out the movement on his pitches early on. Evens the count with Stubbs. Stubbs strikes out a lot. Not the kind of guy you want to do a hit and run with. You can't really count on him to make contact. That's a very good point. That's part of the equation when you decide to hit and run. Does the batter make enough contact? Does the pitcher throw enough strikes? 14th strikeout of the year for Stubbs as Garcia gets his first here tonight. Our Plaza Tire Foxmo, the delivery of Garcia. That's when he got on top of the breaking ball and ends up down below the knees. Jaime's pitched very well against Cincinnati in his career, and one of the big reasons is he's contained, you know, Votto, Phillips, and Bruce. Votto really the face of this franchise now, and for a couple more decades. And he should be an all-star every year. He's that good. Reigning MVP in the National League and signed a 10-year extension. He had a couple years remaining, and with an option year, it could run as long as 2024. It'd be interesting to watch Garcia working against the lefties in this lineup. Joey Votto and Jay Bruce batting third and fifth, respectively. Big part of their offense. Garcia last year, lefties hit .308 against him. The year before, just .211. And lefties really didn't do anything a couple years ago. And extra base hits. Ground ball to second. Green quickly to short for call. On to first, double play. Garcia gets it done for call. Will lead it off. No score, just underway here at Busch Stadium. Rafael Furcal doing a nice job of ending the top of the first by turning this double play. Yeah, you got to find out who will kind of take you out. Cozart tried to go after Furcal, and you can see how far away from the bag. You'll learn real quickly which guys you want to drop down on, which guys are going to kind of take you out. The defense for a shortstop is to drop down with his throw and make that guy slide underneath it, or he eats the baseball. That will teach somebody to slide a little quicker and stay in the baseline. Makes me think of Manny Trio. Cardinals batting order here tonight for Call, Beltran, and Holiday, followed by Berkman, Freese, Molina. John Jay in center. Tyler Green getting the start at second base, and Jaime Garcia will pitch and bat ninth against Matt Latos. He was the big acquisition this winter for the Reds. They traded quite a few prospects for Matt Latos. He's still a young man. He's 24 years of age,
And he's gotten off to a slow start, but April by far is his worst month of his of the season for him. April is where he has a lot of trouble. He hadn't gone deep in games. The pitch counts got up there. And one thing, he's not throwing anywhere near as hard as he did a few years ago when he came up, and a lot of people took notice of his low ERA.
Hard hit ball down the line. It's fair for Call. Rounds first. He's headed to second. A leadoff double for the Cardinals shortstop.
Alfie leads the ball club in hits. That's number 15 now, and his 5th double. So Votto way off the line. He just pulls it down the line beyond the reach. Call is now 6 for 15 when he's facing this right-hander. Beltran's 2 for 2 with 2 home runs against Latos.
Can't get much better than that.
Nope.
Switch hitter Beltran batting from the left side. He says, Al, that he's more comfortable from the right side, but I just love his swing from the left side.
Well, when you look at a guy like Beltran or any of their switch hitters, their natural side is going to be right-handed. But because they had speed, somebody made the suggestion, get closer to first base, learn to become a switch hitter. And, you know, he's hitting .500 right-handed, just .310 left-handed.
Pitch at 92 for Latos. We'll check his velocity throughout the contest tonight.
Used to be 96, and now it's pretty much that 92. Now, that's not to say that as the summer heats up, his velocity will increase.
The 1-0 from Latos is high and away. Both pitchers really struggling with fastball command early on. Beltran with a very nice game yesterday, a home run in the first. He also threw out a red early on. Dusty Baker has had a hard time finding some offense with his ball club.
They've hit .205 as a team, the Reds. Cardinals .293 to lead the National League.
Line drive foul. And when you have a club like Dusty's struggling offensively, you think he's worried a little bit more about this particular run in the first inning, more so than he might be when his team's raking?
Well, he's a little bit concerned about his pitching staff in the sense that they're overworked. On this road trip, they played 5 games, 4 in Washington and the 1 last night, and they've gone to extra innings in 4 of the 5.
Beltran deep in the box.
Latos, when he came up in his first full season, he kind of established a record. What was it? He had like 15 consecutive starts that he threw at least 5 innings and gave up 2 runs or less.
Fastball low, Beltran aboard. Cincinnati with a nice defense behind Latos. The best in the National League. Stubbs can go get it in center field. Bruce with a good arm. Gold all on that infield. And Latos and the rookie Devin Mesoraco are the battery. That's our Dobbs Reds defense. Brings in Matt Holliday. Holliday at 200. Just 1 for 5 yesterday, but it was kind of a loud 1 for 5. Missed an opportunity in the 9th to win it. That ball's hit hard to right field. Bruce a few steps back. Call will tag and head to third, so a productive out for Matt Holliday. And there's another hard hit ball that does not result in a hit for Matt Holliday.
He's about ready to break out.
thought you said he was going to. We're going to say he was going to break his helmet.
Oh, about to break out, meaning
I know
hitting.
But the frustration of when things aren't going well is something players have to deal with.
And you got to learn that as many times you want to break it, it really doesn't do any good.
I'm sure you've seen many sinks in the clubhouse that were destroyed by a player taking a bat to them.
Sinks, toilets.
Yep, seen them all.
Helmets.
Makes a loud noise, let me tell you. Berkman. Paints Berkman on the outside corner. Lance not sure about that call.
Player was a little bit outside, and Lance only 2 for 9. Has more trouble with Latos than any other Cardinal, but one hit, he'd be at 300.
Beltran 2 for 3 in stolen bases. Not going. Ground ball to the right side. Votto can't get it. Phillips can. Close play, safe at first. Latos was late covering first base, and Berkman, sore calf and all, beats it out.
That's what hustling does for you. Dusty can't believe it. You know, Phillips did a nice job, you know, of getting to that ball, but he had to wait for his pitcher. Just kind of a swinging bunt, just gets it by the mound. So you're going to get a run out of it. Votto can't pick it up, but there's Phillips, and then he flips to his pitcher, who had to look down, and by the time he takes that time to look down, Berkman touches on the base first.
Good call.
Very close and very good call.
That's Brian Gorman. He's the crew chief. Right on that call. David Freese at 371. A couple of Cardinals aboard.
Mentioned Brian Gorman. His father was an umpire, and I'm not sure if his dad, Tom, passed away this winter, but facial resemblance is very pronounced.
Latos struggling here in the first inning, and an opportunity for the Cardinals to jump on him.
You really have to. You got to punish him. He is very capable of shutting you down, and it's kind of been the common theme for the Cardinals this year, is many times, and definitely on the road trip, is by the time their starter took the mound, they were playing with a lead.
There go the runners. Pitch is low, and a double steal. No chance at either Beltran or Berkman. And you've got to blame that on the pitcher Latos.
See how Votto's so far off the line. Berkman, a veteran, he knows he can still get back there ahead of the first baseman. So why not take advantage of it? Young catcher back there. Now the National League is 5 for 5 in stolen bases when Mesoraco is back behind the plate.
The 2-1 to Freese. Misses inside. The Cardinals now with 8 stolen bases in 10 attempts as a team. That was number 1 for Berkman, number 3 for Beltran. Freese with 11 RBIs already this month.
And Matt Carpenter, in a lot fewer at bats, has tied him.
Line drive hit down the line. This will score 2. David Freese has doubled home Beltran and Berkman. And it's 3-0 Redbirds.
Freese just regained the lead in RBIs. They're kind of a changeup and left it on the inner half of the plate and up, and he just pulled it down into the corner. 2 men in scoring position. They come home easily, and the Cardinals have a quick 3-0 lead.
Scott Rowland can't get it. Nobody can.
You see Latos in his career, April, ERA over 5.5. And then May, very good with a 2.40. But in this ballpark, Matt Latos had an ERA over 25, the highest ERA by any pitcher. Home, visitor. And this guy, has the potential to be one of the best pitchers in the league.
But struggles here at Busch Stadium. Yadier Molina with a chance to tack on. Molina has 10 RBIs of his own.
Mentioned all the players that they traded to get Latos. Padres aren't really seeing a great return on their investment either. But it is early.
Strike at the knees. Latos just wants it to be May.
Better than 3 points off his April ERA.
You wonder if the difference between pitching in San Diego and Cincinnati is going to matter to him.
Oh, it would have to. San Diego, one of the biggest ballparks, very tough on hitters there. And then you go to one of the most explosive, cozy little ballparks in Cincinnati. I'm sure that's going to have an effect on his pitching.
The 2-1. The Cardinals, Al, already have turned a double play, gotten a leadoff runner aboard, stolen 2 bases, picked up a hit with runners in scoring position, all the little things you need to do to win.
They were 0 for 9 and with runners in scoring position last night, but tonight, great start.
Ground ball to short. 3 hopper. Retires Molina. Freeze advances to third. Cardinals have scored first in 9 of the 12 games this season. And 6 of those times they've scored in the first inning, making Mike Matheny's job just a tad easier.
And when they score first, the team record is 7-1. Real key is scoring more than 3 runs. They're 6-1 when they do that.
That pitch at 95 from Latos to John Jay. Jay hitting .333. 1 for 4 against the Reds in game 1.
3 for 5 facing Latos.
Good hack there. John Jay has been, Al, in almost every spot in the Cardinal lineup since coming up to the big leagues. He's led off some, hit second. What do you think about him in that 7th spot?
You like him still. Shows a little speed right there. He's got some pop in his bat that he can kind of clean up things a little bit. Pretty tough to hit much lower because there's so many good hitters in this lineup.
Tyler Green will bat next. 1-2 to John Jay. Frees the runner at third. Watch out in the Cardinals dugout.
Almost hit Jake Westbrook. Don't want anything to happen to these guys. They're all pitching well in that rotation.
What they normally say is make sure that you protect the players who are hot. Take one for the team. Both those guys are hot right now, Jake Westbrook and Lance Lynn.
And it kind of allows us to give a little more healing time to not only Carpenter but also Wainwright. Will be making the start tomorrow.
John Jay strikes out on a breaking ball, but the Cardinals pick up 3. David Freese, a 2-run double. Lance Berkman, an RBI, and it's 3-0 St. Louis. Our Toyota keys to the game will focus on Jaime Garcia against Cincinnati here at Busch.
6-1 in his career against Cincinnati, but look what he's done here at home. 4-0, 2.19 ERA, 2-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio, and a ton of runs in support. And Derek Lilliquist can go get him. You got a lead, go throw strikes, be efficient, keep the ball down.
You say a ton of runs. If you get 10 runs a game every 9 innings,
you better win.
Should be 4-0.
But when he's got a 2.19 ERA,
he's
obviously he doesn't need that.
Right.
But he can have fun with it.
And 3 runs of support already. There's a fly ball shallow left center. Who's got it? John Jay, a sliding catch. As he takes charge at the last minute, it makes a very tough play in shallow left center field.
Well, when he took off, I saw him first look to left field, and then he just got on his horse and just goes over there right in front of Holiday, and you can see Holiday pulls up, and so there was going to be no collision. So good communication, and that's how you play center field. You take charge.
I would think Matt Holliday would be someone you really don't want to run into.
You would make sure you say something, because that is a body you would not want to collide with.
Football star in high school.
John Jay's, and he was a quarterback, but he's still put together like a brick wall.
Garcia facing his second lefty of the night. This time it's Jay Bruce. Bruce just 3 for 18 in his career against Garcia.
All-Star a year ago, 32 home runs. Off to the slow start, but he's not the only one.
Funny how teams get into a funk where a couple of key players aren't hitting, and then this gets tougher for everybody. Base hit there for Jay Bruce, first hit of the night for Cincinnati.
And there's a little bit what you talked about is left-handed hitters are hitting a high clip against Garcia, much higher than it should be.
Host your next party at the ballpark and leave the entertaining to us. Party suites include a fully catered, all-inclusive menu, plus a great view of the game. Party suites are great for groups of 30 or more. Book yours today at cardinals.com/party suites. Celebrating the Blues.
Okay, that's the only reason we'll let that be blue water, but I thought water was blue or crystal clear. But go Blues.
How fun has that been? Playing so well, entertaining hockey. So many good players. Speed, toughness, a lot like you, Al. Pure athletes.
I can remember when. And
Well,
it's past tense.
I'm impressed that you can remember.
Easy now.
Scott Rowland.
What did you say?
Scott Rowland struggling at 135.
Scotty's over 500 doubles, over 2,000 hits. He's coming into select company.
At age 37, the bat may be just a little slower. Can't catch up to that fastball up and in. Strikeout number 2 for Garcia.
With all the shoulder problems he've had, and remember his season was cut short last year, That ball up is going to be, a little troublesome for him. That's kind of a cutter at 85. Didn't have a lot of movement, but
Chris Heisey had the pinch hit game winner in game 3 in Cincinnati. Another move to first for Garcia. Heisey has 2 hits and 3 plate appearances as a pinch hitter, but he's not fared quite as well as a starter.
Idea of the movement on that pitch. A lot of left-handers in the old days never could throw a ball straight. Today, for some reason, most of them, the ball's a lot straighter, but Jaime's a throwback.
Trying to control that movement, finds the strike zone. Little fly ball to right field. Beltran retires Heisey. Garcia threw 2 innings. We keep telling you got to root for the Blues. Even Stan Musial's doing it. Take the Cardinals on the road with you this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv Premium today and see every Cardinals out-of-market game live online and on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit Cardinals.com to order, or for more details, MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere. Blues fans in the house resume their series with the Sharks tomorrow night, and we wish them well. Tyler Green leads it off for St. Louis, batting in the 8th spot. Good swing at a high fastball, 1-1. Green, Garcia, and the top of the order in Rafael Furcal. Cardinals broke out with 3 runs in the first inning on 3 hits. Berkman, an infield single, drove in the first one. Then David Freese delivered a double past Scott Rowland for 2 more.
Daniel Descalso has been getting most of the playing time at second base, but in the early going, both Tyler Green and Descalso, their numbers are just so similar. Both Descalso got the start yesterday, got a hit, but Descalso was batting 200, the same that Tyler Green is playing. They both have no home runs, 2 RBIs, and both have committed an error. Mark McGwire, last season his batters led the league in average runs scored. This year they lead in average runs scored and home runs.
Tyler Green fooled on that off-speed pitch, but he was able to keep his hands back, so he works the count to 3-2.
I really laugh when a lot of people think that Mark McGwire, one thing he could teach is home runs. So they are leading in home runs, but that's not his philosophy. His philosophy is, really to hit the ball up the middle. Stay on pitches, make that pitcher work, get his pitch count up, get into the bullpen as quick as possible.
A lot of well-pitched games early on, a lot of teams struggling offensively, but the Cardinals batting .293 as a team. 3-2. Green at the plate, and ball 4, and the speedy Tyler Green reaches base. Latos not sharp so far, and another conversation with a catcher. We've seen this 8 times at least already in this series. Cincinnati catchers out to talk to their pitcher, and
that was Hannigan in yesterday's ball game. Right. Probably about 5 or 6 times he went out. Jaime and Molina, along with Derek Lilliquist and Dyer Miller, they get together before a game, so you don't have to do that so many times during the course of a game.
Bunting situation. Garcia pulls the bat back, ball 1. Classic teaching here. You're a pitcher, you're trying to get the batter to pop it up, you throw a high fastball. Everybody says that's the hardest pitch to bunt. I'm not sure I always agree with that, but that's what's taught mostly.
Do you agree that one of the easiest pitches to bunt is a breaking ball?
Depends on how good the breaking ball is.
Well, as they're aggressively charging, Jaime's the kind of guy that can swing the bat a little bit.
There goes the runner. Throw to second base, and it's a stolen base for Tyler Green. Tyler Green has still not been thrown out stealing as a major leaguer.
Tyler led the club with steals last year, 11-11, and now he's 17 for 17. Cozart trying to make that tag, which is important, but it's more important to have the ball in your glove when you do it.
It helps.
And Tyler had that base easy. What Oquendo came down to tell Jaime is just take the ball, show bunt, but don't offer at it and let him steal.
Pretty nice stat, 17 for 17. And what this does for you, which makes a whole lot of sense to me, is if you've got somebody who can steal a base, let him steal it first, then sacrifice him to third. Why waste sacrificing the second if he's going to steal it anyway?
Scott Rowland still playing in, anticipating a bunt.
Garcia squares. And he offers at it, but fouls it off, so that'll be a strikeout. Number 2 for Latos.
Not very good fundamentals there on trying to lay down the bunt.
He's trying to bunt one of those easy curveballs to bunt that you're talking about.
Well, he never got in a good field position. The bat was back behind the plate. That's why on strike 2 he fouled it off, because he had the bat in foul territory. You got to put the bat out in front of the plate, preferably the barrel higher than the handle. Have your knees flexed so you can go up and down with the height of the pitch, and just let the ball come to you. Good way to teach young kids to bunt is put a glove on the bat,
Catch it.
And you just catch it. Try and catch the ball in the glove while it's sitting on the end of your bat, or in the sweet part of the bat. Now, Latos has had some real problems in this ballpark with a ERA over 25 coming in. But you see Adam Wainwright talking to Holiday, because there's been only one home run hit off of Latos, and that was off the bat of Adam Wainwright.
Think he remembers that?
Oh, I think Adam does.
You think he's telling Matt Holliday about it?
Well, home run hitters kind of get together and they discuss those things. And Carpenter's just a sponge trying to soak things in.
1-1 to Rafael Furcal. Green the runner at second. Ground ball to short. Cozart's going to have to throw across the diamond as Green advances to third. Out number 2. Did Wainwright really take him deep?
Absolutely.
Al? Are you making that up?
Nope. Here it is. August 14th, 2009. Hits this one to left field. The only home run. A ton of runs scored against Latos, but the only one home run, and it was off the bat of Adam Wainwright, who will be pitching tomorrow, and I'm really anxious to see what he's figured out.
Bronson Arroyo will go for Cincinnati in the finale. 2 outs in the Cardinals' second. Beltran walked, stole a base, and scored in the first inning. And we were told again today it could be Beltran. He doesn't really care. Call him what you want, Al. We'll go with Beltran.
Tell me again, what are we going with?
We're going to go with Beltran, the more Americanized way of saying his name. What a career he's had. Ton of home runs as a switch hitter. He's in rare company when you talk about the best switch hitters power-wise of all time.
Well, there's 9 that have hit over 300 home runs, and we have 2 of them. Beltran and Berkman.
3-0 St. Louis. Long one to right. This could be, and it's gone. Home run number 5 for Carlos Beltran.
And once again, Carlos has 3 hits off of Matt Latos, and all 3 have left the ballpark. 3 for 3, walk.
Might want to try another pitch on Carlos Beltran.
I have a feeling he's tried them all. Of course, Wainwright is saying I talked to Beltran before I talked to Holiday.
And strike 1 to Matt Holliday. Cardinals' power has been a bit of a surprise to many, and I would say to me.
Well, we knew they had some power hitters, but to get off to this quick start and lead the league in home runs, that is number 17 on the young season for the Redbirds.
John Jay has 2, Molina 3. Here's a couple of the power hitters for you. 0-2 to Holliday. Waves at a breaking ball. Couple of strikeouts in the inning for Latos. But a couple of home runs that Latos has given up here in St. Louis. The first one, Wainwright did it. And just moments ago, it was Carlos Beltran extending the Cardinals' lead to 5-0. Blues playoffs continue tomorrow night. Live coverage of the game starting at 9 p.m. with Blues Live. You'll find the game right here on Fox Sports Midwest at 9:30. Blues and the Sharks tomorrow night on Fox Sports Midwest. Cardinals showing their support for the Blues. A nice sign outside of Busch Stadium, right near Stan Musial, sure to get attention. Plenty of folks rooting for the Blues, including some of the Cardinal players. Rick Horton, Al Raboski, along with Jim Hayes here in the 3rd inning. Jim, good to have you with us here, and many of the Cardinal players are excited about what's going on with the Blues.
Yeah, one guy who isn't really that excited is Daniel Descalso. We know Daniel is a very popular Cardinal player. The one place he's not that popular is at Scottrade. See, Daniel grew up on the West Coast, and he's a Sharks fan, and he was telling me he was at the game the other night. He wasn't rooting for San Jose, even though he's a fan.
Hard hit ball up the middle for Call. Throws out Mesoraco, out number 1.
But he was being responsible and respectful. But some of the Blues fans knew who he was and knew his background and started booing him. So there was a section of Scottrade
booing
where the ever popular Daniel Descalso was booed for being a Sharks fan.
Well, after you gave that story, now you'll get the whole arena booing him. Nice going.
He is allowed to root for the team from whence he came. No.
Ask Kachuk about that.
I just was thinking about that. Came to Busch Stadium with a Red Sox jersey.
04, you know, and
he
World
was
Series.
Booed resoundly.
So
the answer is no.
Daniel Descalso is a relatively new transplant to St. Louis. Kachuk has been around for what, 30, 40 years?
Somebody better give him the memo.
Don't get on the old guys now.
But we do love Daniel Descalso. Now let's get on to somebody who likes the Blues, Chris Carpenter.
Boy, he's a big Blues fan.
He's seen
So
there
is
quite a bit.
David Freese as well. Matt Holliday goes to a lot of Blues games. Kyle Loesch.
Boy, was he good last night. Kyle Loesch.
At 89, 90 miles an hour, you talked about being able to be outstanding even without velocity as long as your ball's moving. As Garcia kind of has that stuff where he can be outstanding at 89, 90.
Well,
Loesch the same way.
And it's what we're talking about. Today's pitchers, so many of them don't have fastball command. And right now, Adam's going to have to deal with that. And not what you want to do, but unless you want to wear out the opposing pitcher and have him on the base pass.
Busch Stadium in St. Louis, 5-0 St. Louis, game 2 of a 3-game series with Cincinnati. Cardinals hoping to win the series with a victory here tonight after an extra inning win in 10 here last night, 2-1. Kyle Loesch did not pick up a victory in that game. Certainly should have and could have been 3-0. But walking that pitcher, Al, not too happy about that if you're Derek Lilliquist.
Well, it's one thing if now you can get another double play ball and you tire him out a little bit running the bases.
Hard hit ball to right field. This is trouble down the line, but play is made on the run by Beltran.
No trouble for the 3-time Gold Glove winner. So he got a very good jump on that ball. Of course, those were the days he was playing center field, and there'll be some times where he'll be out there in center, especially when we get Alan Craig back.
Pretty smooth the way he plays the outfield.
Sure is. Good jump.
Drew Stubbs struck out in the first. Latos the runner of first. Just 1 RBI in the season for Stubbs. 40 stolen bases last year.
How about their cleanup hitter tonight? Brandon Phillips has no RBIs.
He has missed 5 games with a hamstring issue, but really not a lot of RBIs in total for Cincinnati. Their offense has just not been clicking. It's 205, 15th in the National League.
Scott Rowland with only 2 RBIs.
This was a team that many people expected to score runs in bunches, and with an upgraded starting rotation, even with the injury at the end of their bullpen, Madsen, a lot of people felt they'd be very good. Maybe they will be, just not to this point.
Right now, they're getting good pitching, but not any run support.
Garcia handles the one hopper, knows he has to hurry. Plenty of time to get Stubbs. So he pitches around to walk, his second. Just 1 hit for Cincinnati, 5 runs for St. Louis. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by MyKiaSt.Louis.com. There's no curfew for late night cravings, so stop by Jack in the Box, where the entire menu is available all day long. And by the new wireless receiver from AT&T Uverse. Visit att.com/freeyourtv. Rethink possible. 5-0 St. Louis. Adam Wainwright having some fun, I guess, on the bench with Jake Westbrook. Not really sure what they're doing. Are they surfing? Are they dancing?
A couple Georgia boys, no telling.
Jake Westbrook's had to make a couple of athletic plays that maybe Adam's making fun of him. Is that maybe what's going on there?
Now they're
That's
doing the
you.
Three
See,
Stooges stuff.
Hey, Mo.
That's it. 3 Stooges, just like us.
Doesn't look like a guy that's uptight about his start tomorrow. One thing about Adam Wainwright is he, despite what he's done on the field, guys, he's a guy that can maintain his leadership, his confidence. You just get the feeling that he's going to figure it out. A lot of folks asking us about, is Adam Wainwright having a serious issue? Fly ball to left. Out number 1.
Well, we'll talk more about it tomorrow, but I just think Adam, and we all felt this way, the way he progressed last season, and coming back off the Tommy John, missing the whole year, but we started seeing the baby steps and then taking in the next step, and you just felt like he was going to be one of those guys that was going to bounce back in 12 months. But it's proven to be a 12 to 18 month process for Tommy John, and he got off to a great start in spring training, throwing 93. I still think he's in a dead arm stage. He won't say that because he won't make any excuses. But if you think about it, guys in the past used to throw 30+ innings, and after about the fourth start, you kind of hit a dead stage. Well, his dead stage kind of hit the first 2 starts of the year. And there's a third
Stooge.
Oh,
he wanted to play.
we saw so much of this last year, didn't we?
Just don't like to see a team that uptight.
Lance Lynn's trying to say, is this what I'm supposed to learn?
I'm not even sure where to go with that. Jim, how about you? Help us out with that. What's happening
Al
there?
believes that Chris Carpenter was in the video room and saw this and wanted to be part of it.
That's what I'm thinking.
Ricky said that.
So Ricky believes that. I'm not so sure.
You look like you jumped in.
Defensive swing. Freeze fouls that off. 2-2. There's the picture that we've come to love. David Freeze, the moment at home plate, the game-winning home run. That's a UMB Bank Champions Club.
Make you throw your helmet between your legs, jump up and throw it like that.
What would make you do what those guys are doing in the dugout right now? Strike on the corner. That's 4 strikeouts for Latos.
When this season's all said and done, Latos is he's going to show people why he's so highly respected. Still only 24, and like I said, his first full season in major leagues, he set a major league record of throwing 15 consecutive starts of at least 5 innings and giving up no more than 2 runs. He has immense potential, but you kind of get the feeling that San Diego had had enough of him. Now, they did get a bunch of prospects in return, but this guy can be a frontline starter.
Don't really want to see him get settled down here. Hard hit ball to right, but Jay Bruce has it in his sights. A 1-2-3 inning for Latos in the 3rd. Cardinals lead. This Missouri moment is brought to you by the Missouri Division of Tourism. Go to visitmo.com. Start planning your next Missouri getaway. We're showing you Ledgestone Championship Golf Course as well as Table Rock Lake, and they're both near Branson, a beautiful part of the state. The 18-hole golf course is a masterpiece of mountain golf architecture, and the lake has nearly 800 miles of shoreline and over 43,000 acres of water for visitors to enjoy in many ways. Just a beautiful part of the state. Go to visitmo.com. Top of the 4th, Jaime Garcia, just 1 hit so far, a couple of walks, as he'll face the middle of the order in Votto Phillips and Jay Bruce. And we'll see how he fares against the lefties a second time out.
A couple years ago, his first year, he was just dominant against left-handed pitching, and if they did get a hit, it was never an extra base hit. But then it seemed like, as the season progressed last year, lefties just really took advantage of them. They hit over 300.
Really seen a habit with him too against lefties. It's not the first 2 strikes that's the problem. It's finishing them off.
Putting them away. And he has too good of stuff for that to be a problem, and too many different weapons to go to.
Weapon of choice for Garcia against the left-handers? What would you say it is?
Well, he
As
could
you
throw
say, he's
any
got
his
a lot
pitch.
of them.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, he could throw, he could throw the fastball, he
Two
could throw the
strikes here.
curveball,
2 strikes here.
change up.
Slider.
His velocity seems down a little bit, but obviously, you know, it's not affecting him. Only 1 hit allowed.
The 2-2. Fastball, base hit to left field.
There you go. The 2 hits are both left-handers.
Not counting that last base hit to left. Garcia's pitched well against the tough hitters in this Reds lineup. More strikeouts than hits for Phillips, Votto, and Bruce.
If you're going to beat the Reds, and he's 6-1 lifetime, 4-0 here, you have to contain that trio. And you better keep people off in base in front of them.
Ground ball to left side. Tough play for Fergal. He gets the lead runner at second and on to first. Double play. Brandon Phillips not running very well because of his hamstring, and the Cardinals taking advantage of it.
Well, that goes to show you, when that ball is hit, you go, no way a double play. But when you factor in the bad hamstring, Phillips can't get out of there, but you never know. So go ahead and execute. And Ralphie's got such a strong arm, he gets it over to Tyler Green so quickly, and he goes ahead and executes the throw. And under orders, you can see Phillips is not told to push it. I'd rather have him play at 70%. He's still a very good ball player at 70%, better than any replacement.
We haven't really seen much of the arm of Tyler Green at second base, but he's always had a strong arm.
Yeah, he does have a strong arm. How about this? Happy 72nd wedding anniversary to Dorothy and Rayford Hurt. They live in Taylorville.
Green throws out Bruce. On to the bottom of the 4th.
Blues and Sharks hit the ice for Game 4.
On Saturday, April 28th, the Cardinals take on the Brewers. 25,000 fans entering that night. With a ticket, we'll have a chance to look like a pro at an official New Era Cardinals 2011 Championship Clubhouse cap. For more information, visit cardinals.com/promotion. Our camera operators are doing a wonderful job of modeling for us here this evening. Wow, do you guys look good. That's the 28th of April, 25,000 fans, New Era Cardinals Championship caps. And of course, you get to see the Brewers as well that night. Wonderful promotion items all season long. And it makes it that much better when you've got World Championship attached to those promotional items. Already had the ring giveaway and the pennant.
Ring giveaway was sensational.
John Jay.
Those rings are metal, and apparently you can actually take them to a jeweler and have them sized.
And our guys operating the cameras do such a nice job. Appreciate them modeling those championship caps. Our crew does a outstanding job. Nice to be back with them again for the 2012 season.
They're the best.
Professionals. News on our crew. Danny Martinez helps us out with a lot of stats and preparation. Recently married. Congratulations.
That's right. Congratulations. It's amazing. They said it would never last either.
So far, so good. Felicitaciones, Danny. Line drive to left. This could drop, and does, over the shortstop Cozart's head. So base hit for John Jay, leading off the Cardinal fourth. That's their 5th hit of the night.
John Jay now 4 for 7 when facing Latos. Set up outside, ball right back over the middle of the plate. Didn't hit it with a lot of authority, and that's why it fell in between the left fielder and over the head of the shortstop.
Good look at the location on our Missouri Lottery Fox tracks. Jay, a threat to steal. He has 1 stolen base on the season. Tyler Green walked and scored in the second. One and 0 to Tyler Green. Green pretty patient at bat as last time. Green, one of those players that you just like to see develop just a little bit more.
He's the best athlete on the roster. And when you talk to teammates or people that saw him last year down at Memphis, where he hit better than 320, you say he's a difference maker. You know, he has power, he has speed, he can do all kinds of things when he's nice and relaxed. We just haven't seen it at this level.
Big hole on the right side.
Ricky, he was, you know, just an observation, but he was a player that just could not play for Tony La Russa. He was just too tight. So it's a real benefit to having Mike Matheny, who is kind of a little pet project. Mike has really tried to give him the job in spring training, but he was one of the few, or one of several, that, you know, he's really made a personal, you know, to go out and really build up the confidence and speak with Mitchell Boggs, Tyler Green, tell these guys how much confidence he has in them, just to relax and let that good ability come through.
Way off the plate, 2-1 to Green. And the pressure of Tony La Russa is now gone, but the pressure of this being a make or break year for Tyler Green remains.
Sure.
He's out of options. He's either in or he's out in 2012. There's no sending him to AAA. He's off that train.
He's a former #1 draft pick out of Georgia Tech.
Hard ground ball to short. To Phillips for 1 on to first, and Green is doubled up. 6-4-3. And that erases the leadoff hit by John Jay.
Now you get Garcia through the inning. So he'll come up and bat here with 2 outs.
Seen 3 double plays in this game tonight. Errorless game. The Cardinals have out hit Cincinnati 5-2. Big blows, David Freese and Carlos Beltran. Al, other than the rain the first 2 games of the homestand, we've had very nice weather here at the ballpark. It's been very, very pleasant.
And it should be a nice finale tomorrow afternoon. I'm sure there's tickets available, so come out, and what we hope will be the Cardinals going for a sweep.
Adam Wainwright, Bronson Arroyo.
Now, after the first game of the year, where we played against Miami, Cardinals played 27 games in their division. You could bury yourself, or you could get off to a nice little cushion just by playing good baseball. So far, the Cardinals have taken advantage. They've won 3 straight series against Central Division foes.
3-1 on his homestand, winning 2 out of 3 against Chicago. And another walk of a pitcher. Garcia walked Latos. Now Latos walks Garcia.
3 walks to go along with the 5 Cardinal base hits. Already here, 74 pitches. You know, he hasn't gone deep in a ball game. He hadn't gone beyond the 5th inning, and the pitch count keeps on creeping up there for him.
Not much of a lip reader, but I think I heard him talking to himself there. You could almost see him say, "That's bad." And that would be an appropriate assessment. 2 out walk to a pitcher. Top of the order and for call. Doubled and scored in the first.
Ralphie's 6 for 16 when facing Latos, so you bring up a guy that can hurt you. Velocity in the fastball isn't quite there. The sharpness on some of his breaking pitches. Got a decent changeup, but he's left it up a few times.
Setting up inside. And he does jam for a call. He fouls it straight back. 69 degrees at game time here at Busch Stadium. Spectacular venue. Beyond the left center field fence. The action inside the ballpark has been all Cardinals. The 1-2. Hitting the gap in right center field. This could be trouble, and it is down. Cut off by the center fielder who bobbles it a bit. Garcia's going to try to score. Phillips has it to play at the plate, and he is out at the plate. Bang, bang play. Good throw from Brandon Phillips. And Garcia is thrown out at the plate. Perfect relay. Stubbs to Phillips. The plate is blocked. Still 5-0 St. Louis.